everyone. I hope that everyone is having a great evening so far tonight. It's a beautiful evening, and I'm coming to you to make this video. But before anything, I want to say thank you so much to everyone for watching, taking a moment to see my videos, and following me, and liking my pictures and liking my encouraging words. I'm just so grateful to have the opportunity to share that with you, and for you to take a moment out of your busy schedule, your busy time, to view that and check it out and like it. So I'm forever grateful, and it makes me very happy to see that I'm getting followers that like what I put. And not only that, but I get such beautiful encouragements from people from every walks of life, and it just it shows me the you know how beautiful it is when you have a beautiful heart, when you're kind, when you're generous, when you give back because you want to, because it makes you happy. It creating that place where everyone feels welcome, that we all can unite, right? So sorry about that, that's my dog in the back. I got two dogs, so if you see them walking by, I apologize, but they're here with me too, in the comfy sofa. So with that said, this video is going to be on depression. I did talk about making this video a couple weeks ago when I was up in Temescal Canyon, and this topic is really important to me. It's crucial for me that I don't really linger it too much. I want to give all the information that I want to give because it's something that hits close to home for me, and that is that I suffer from depression, and I have bouts of depression. This is a subject that I really want to give all the you know all the tools that have helped me, and hopefully there's something in here, maybe not everything, but maybe there's something that you can take that you will benefit from, or someone that you love, a loved one or a friend, can benefit from something that they can do differently in their lives that can probably bring some relief to where they're at. All these things that I'm going to talk about have brought me relief, and I actually come back to them all the time. When there's times that I feel like I'm down, or I'm going through a moment where it's really hard for me, I take these steps, and I really stay firm to them until I feel much better. So with that said, I just want to open up with saying that I want this video also to be very transparent. If I'm here talking about a subject that's very very touchy, is because I want to help others that are going through similarities like I am. And I think a lot of us have a lot more in common than we think, or that we want to think, because we feel like we're the only ones going through something like this. But to be actually really real is a lot of people are suffering from depression. I think a lot of people heard the news about these two famous people committing suicide. I mean, I was so devastated. So devastated to hear that. It's just, it hurts. It hurts my heart. It hurts my soul to hear that, that they did this to themselves, for whatever reason, feeling like, like they're not worthy, or feeling like life's too much, it's a struggle. It's just, I think as society, as one whole piece, we should all help each other to create the life that we want, as a whole. And we can't do that unless we give back, unless we are kind, unless we share those vulnerabilities with others, to show that, you're not the only one going through that. You're not the only one that has a lot in your mind, or has a lot of struggles or pain, maybe we can all learn something about it together and heal so that we can be able to move forward and enjoy this life that we do have. With that said, I'm going to start out with saying that I really didn't know what word to use for the way I see my life. I have, we think about a lot of things, and we see our life a certain way, or at least that's how I view my life now. After, a couple of years of going through so much, now I have a way, a system that works for me in my life that has helped me, and I could only put it down as a blueprint. I think a blueprint, if you look at a blueprint, what is a blueprint? Is a design. And I have all these little notes here on the side because I don't want to forget what I want to tell you guys, because this is important to me that I get this out correctly and from the bottom of my heart, give you this information. Blueprint, the definition of blueprint, I had to look it up because I said, that's exactly how I view my life now. It's like a blueprint. A blueprint is a design, a plan, is a design of plan or other technical, a drawing, meaning it's a plan. Life is like a plan, right? I see my life as this blueprint of where we can erase, we can take off, we can add, we can change. We have the ability to make it what it is. And life is that way. I really view that life is that way, that we can be able to, put the borders on that blueprint and have what we want inside and have what we don't outside of that too. So that's one way I see my life and view it. Another thing that I want to say that is very important, or at least for me, it's been very important to learn how to love myself. It's very easy to say that, but it's another thing to do, right? I think we as human beings have the ability to be able to criticize ourselves very easily, be able to put ourselves down, be able to be hard on ourselves when we do mistakes or when we don't do things the way we should have. But when it is to give ourselves positive feedback, we do less of that. And I actually feel like unless you learn to love yourself, these other key points won't really help, because you really need to dig deep in to see what is it that I can do for myself that's going to create what I want to see. What is it that I need, or what is it that I'm lacking? What is it that I'm going through that I need? I need my full attention for myself to be able to understand that, to be at communication with that inner being. And that only you can do with learning to love yourself, even from the smallest bit every day, and trying to ask yourself, what can I do today that shows a bit of loving myself towards myself? If that's probably picking up a good book, or asking a friend for advice, or doing something kind to yourself, then that's probably the best place you can start. So I say love yourself is key after finding that foundation, which is your blueprint of your life, of knowing that you have that foundation right here in front of you, and you are the master of that. You are the one that's creating that piece and able to take away and put inside, or do what you need to make it solid. So the second one is loving yourself. And the third one is getting help. Getting some type of form of therapy is crucial. You cannot do this walk on your own. Life is not meant to do that. Depression or no depression, it's meant to be, to have help, to get advice, to, get a lending hand when you need it. So I really think that's crucial. At the time that I was in my very darkest times, I knew what I needed to do, and that is get out of myself and take a moment to say, you know what, this is key for me to feeling better, is to finding some sort of help. And you could only do that if you learn to love yourself enough to know that you're in a place that is not good and you don't want to be there. So that's why I was saying that it's very crucial, at least for me, is to come back to that center point, which is myself and loving myself. And then from there, these other points are going to be easier to do because you know where it all comes from, and it's love. So it's the third one would be getting some type of form of therapy or counseling, any kind of help that can help you go through it with someone that is a professional. Fourth for me is no touching of alcohol, no touching of substance. I know a lot of people are probably gonna be you know, don't agree with me on this one, but I really stand firm on what helps, and I truly feel like this piece number 4 helped me out dramatically. During that time period that I was not doing well, I tried doing all that, tried, you know, alcohol, and I would go out and just hang out, and it wasn't bad, you know, going out and doing these things, you know, like, you know, drinking or having a social event. The issue is how you feel the next morning. You know, do you get headaches? Do you get a hangover? You know, substance abuse. It's a moment of a rush, but then from every rush there has to be a moment that you have to come down from that, and and that's not, you know, beneficial to your health, here, to your health here. If your body is off physically and mentally, it's just not going to do what it needs to do appropriately. And I learned that the hard way, you know, and I didn't want to feel that way, you know, like the next day feeling hangover or hungover, or just feeling like I have a headache, and then sleeping the whole day. I mean, on top of already feeling depressed, you putting something more that's like a negative piece in your life that doesn't help, it's just going to make it more awful for you to be able to get out of that. It doesn't help you. So my advice, a crucial advice, is to stay away from those things until you get better. You know, once you get better, then you have a social thing, then you do your thing. But meanwhile, you're going through those bouts of darkness, I would say stay away from those things. Stay away and hear your body. Like, be sensible to what your body needs and give it what it needs. In the moment that you want to do those things and you want to have fun, find other ways to have fun. If that's picking up your passion that you love, if it's, you know, roller skating, if it's skateboarding, if it's going outdoors, if it's like me that I trail run, do things that will release the stress, release the mind and all of that stuff that's going on in here, and be able to have a good night's sleep afterwards and wake up in a better state of mind. So I really truly believe that that's important. With that one, I will say that number 5, what's really important too, is sleep. So I think, you know, alcohol and staying away from substance abuse is important, but sleep is up there too. I am one that, you know, when I was going through depression, I didn't, get enough sleep. So that is so important if you wanna feel better. You know, is getting a good night's sleep. Even when you don't feel like sleeping, try to make an effort to go to sleep around the same time every night, at least until you feel much better. It is important. I have to say that the moment the therapist told me, do a week of just going to sleep on time, try that out and then tell me how you feel. Literally brought a shift to my mind, to my mental state. It, you know, depression didn't go away, but I actually felt like I was able to gain some balance through my life, through my hectic day, with that on top of, you know, of everything that I had to do. So I really honestly think that having a schedule and doing things a certain way is really important. And if you can do it in sleep, I really advise that you take that and try that out for a couple of weeks and see how you feel, and maybe dot down your notes on how you feel every night doing that, and see if you see progress after a couple of nights. So that's another key that's important in you know, in when I feel down. I don't follow that all the time, like my sleep pattern. Sometimes I'll go to sleep late, but when I am going through, you know, those struggles, I tend to really, you know, try to work on that and try to go to sleep on time. That's being kind to yourself, right? So, you know, getting a good night's sleep. You know, we tend to do everything all day long, stress, work, you know, take care of others, if you're a mom, if you're a father. So that is the time where you can let your body release all that, all the tension, and relax. So that's crucial. Number 6 is relationships. I really really know now that relationships are part of, it's crucial that we pick and know who's going to be in our lives or not. That doesn't mean that you have to be mean to people, or that you have to say, I don't need you in my life, or just be very ugly to others. But you really can love people from afar. If you must love people from afar because they don't bring that benefit to your life, then it's best, you know. You have to really narrow it down. Remember the blueprint of your life. We go back to number 1 here, blueprint of your life. You have those borders on the blueprint, right? Those borders keep things inside and keep things outside. And some things will have to stay outside of your blueprint. And that could mean a relationship between, you know, family members, or someone that you love dearly that is just, you know, either is very toxic, or you're very toxic to that person. Either or doesn't bring any good to someone who is struggling already mentally, you know. During the time that I was, you know, when I was going through that, I needed people that were on my side, that were going to support me, that were going to give me great advice, just like I was going to give them the best advice I could. You know, I can't do that, you know, if I'm surrounded with people that are negative, or people that are, you know, that don't want the best for you, or just want to be your friend when it feels like it, and then I won't call you for months. No, you need solid people that love you enough to push you and say, this is the best route you should be going. You know, if it's self-love and they see you doing that, then they should be able to support you in that, you know. Same thing with intimate relationships. Sometimes we fall in these relationships where they're more toxic than anything. You know, I will share a little bit about my life, you know, that I've had issues when it comes to dealing with like intimate relationships, like from my previous marriage to an ex-boyfriend I had. You know, I picked toxic, and honestly, I've learned that our life is a mere reflection. Our life is everything else around us is a mere reflection of our life. So the way our life is, if we are down, if we are toxic to ourselves, if we don't love ourselves, that's exactly what we're going to get across. is people that don't love themselves in return. So it is important that you really take a moment to see who's in your life and really narrow down the people in your life to it being people that are healthy, that are, at the same place that you want to be or are at, or that want to work every day to being the best they can be. Then you will be the best that you can be too. That has really shifted and changed for me, and I've had to maybe say goodbye to people that I cared for, or probably back off and love from afar. But if you want to just be healthier, it's important that you do that. The last one is number 8, and with this one I am going to stay a little bit here on this one because this is something that I'm going to share out of the bottom of my heart, because it's crucial, and I know that everybody is either gone to one thing or another of what I'm going to talk about, and that is feeling empty. I'm the majority of my life, I'm 38, and the majority of my 20s and my teens, I felt like I had an empty hole in me, like just a little empty hole in me. Or another way I can explain it is that I was carrying something with me that I didn't know what that was for, like an extra piece, you can say, that I just didn't know, like, what is that? Like, what is that? What is the meaning of this? Or like I said, what is the meaning of me feeling empty? Why do I feel like there's something I need to fill inside my soul, inside my heart? And I know I'm not the only one that feels like this or has felt like this in their life, or that we ask ourselves, like, what is the meaning of me being here? What is my purpose of me coming into this world? What should I do with my life? Or why is it so fucked up? Or why is it such a struggle? Or why so much pain, Those are questions that I know that all of us have asked ourselves 1 or 2 times, or have even played that in our minds over and over and over. The times when I was in a such dark state, I started hearing even voices at times, but I know now that it was my mental state that was just working and just at war with my inner self, because I was asking myself all those questions and at the same time trying to answer them, and my mind couldn't stay quiet. It had so much to say and do because I was not working on this. It was, or I was in affliction with all of this. So this last key is important to me, and I feel like you need a spiritual way to help your life to deal with that little hole that you have there, or that extra piece that you're carrying that I was talking about. I know a lot of people know that I'm Buddhist. I practice Buddhism now, and I am so grateful for my practice because with my practice I have found that love within myself, which I was talking about, that we must try to find if we want to heal and we want to come out of that depression bout. It's important, and the only way I found love for myself is through doing the kind things for myself, which was trail running and my practice, my Buddhist practice. And I came to find out all on my own. At least I came to a conclusion, practicing and chanting, and I came to the conclusion about that little hole and that extra piece. Now I see it not like a hole, or an extra piece, or it is a hole or an extra piece, but I know why it's there. And I can answer that now because this is how I firmly believe about my foundation of my life, that nothing sways it, because this is what I believe. This is how I stand firm in my life, is that that little hole is meant to be there so that we fill it by giving back. By giving back. We are a little empty as human beings because this life is not meant to just keep it for ourselves. So the moment that you recover, the moment that you are on the other side of this, of feeling the way that you feel, I went through a whole year and a half from 2015 to like the middles of 2016 of just suffering and struggling with my mind, that I never thought that I'd get out of it. Moments that I would feel like maybe my children would be better off if they were taken care of by my mother. I'm sorry, I'm going to cry, but I want to keep it really at heart. Because I know I'm not the only one. Moments I didn't think I was going to see daylight in my heart or in my mind. I thought I was going to be suffering all the time, to the point where I got used to it. I didn't know anything else and I was numb. But I stuck firm, and I am learning that everything that we do in life, even when we are in depression or we're struggling, everything takes action. And a lot of people want to hear, the easy fix. The easy fix on how can I get better. There is no easy fix. There is no easy fix. It all takes time. It all takes effort. And it takes consistency. And running has shown me that. My practice has shown me that when you're consistent, you will see yourself flourish. You will see yourself move forward. There's just no other way you can go other than forward if you're consistent, if you keep doing what you need to do. Even when you don't feel like it or you don't see anything happening in your life, eventually you will. Let me say this again. Eventually you will see the daylight in your heart and in your mind, and you will see a brighter day. It may not be right at the moment that you wish it was, because that was me. There was days where I would stay crying in my bedroom, or I would cry and cry for days on end, coming out of work, and not know what to do, or times where I wouldn't even eat. But I worked through it, and that's why now I'm trying to be as kind to myself that I can. I try to understand myself when I go through hard moments, and you should do the same. You should do the same. Love yourself and be kind to yourself and give yourself a warm hug. If there's no one there around you, then you do it for yourself. It's key. When you come out from the other side, you will see, and you will be stronger, and you will say, oh my God, I am where I thought I was never gonna be. And then you're gonna say, oh my gosh, I'm glad that I worked through it, that I worked very hard to see, that person unfold to a different person. You will grow. You will grow so much. So my advice is stick to it. Like I said, first is your blueprint, your foundation. then it's loving yourself, then it's getting some help through a therapist and professional, and then you stay away from alcohol and substance, sleep well, get a good night's sleep, go out, do something that you're passionate doing so that you look forward to another day. Go out to nature, enjoy the beautiful things in life, and then get rid of toxic relationship or relationships that don't help you grow with love and care. Let them go. And then the last one is, it's important that you practice something that is beneficial to others and beneficial to you. Without that, it's empty. You know, you can do everything else as a whole, but if you don't give back somehow, you don't grow. I've learned that it's so important to give back. If someone needs a lending hand or a shoulder to cry on, or needs you to hear them out with love and care, that is important. We help each other as a community, and we grow. We grow as individuals too. I've learned that. I really have, and I'm telling you out of experience that when you're feeling your most down, try to do something for someone else, and it really brings you back to, you know, what's essential, what's important, you know, and that relationships are important, that those you love are important, and that you know, there's someone out there that loves you and cares for you too, you know. So so with that said, I'm gonna close this video with those tips that I'm giving, and I hope that you find some of these tips to be helpful. Like I said, they have been helpful for me, and I always come back to them. And of course, my practice, I try to practice my practice all the time, and that's essential. Now that little hole, that little emptiness is not, it's not there. It's not there. I feel full. I feel like, you know, like there is no emptiness. Now it's just a matter of me growing, of me getting better, of succeeding. And even when I have bouts of depression, they, you know, they are there, but I don't stay there all the time, and I know they're gonna pass. You know, it's gonna pass, even if it probably will take a little while long. I know that where I've been and where I'm at is essential to where I'm going. You know, with growth comes, you know, comes learning, and with that, you will never be the same. You will never be the same. So please, you know, stick on and keep moving forward. And as hard as it seems, you know, don't give up on yourself. You're beautiful and you're worthy, and you deserve it all. We all deserve it all. So please don't give up on yourself, and love yourself enough to give yourself what you need so you can flourish and you can enjoy what we have, and that's life. That's life on this earth for this time period that we have. So thank you for hearing me out, and I wish you a great evening, and I will be making more videos, and thank you for watching. Bye.